Surprise leader at the top of the table over in the Championship as Preston North End will head into the international break. Tip at the top of the table, but will they still be there after the next match day? We're going to take a little look next. Video today, we're taking a look at match number 6, of course, over the Championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button bang today. All things Championship related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all hear, boys, under one rooski. That's right, Preston North End doing their business very, very under the radar. Of course, a lot of spotlight on Leicester, Ipswich, even Norwich. But Preston, sneaky beaky, go top of the table. But of course, will they be there at the end of the next game? We'll take a little look in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, let's bring you bang up to date with what's going on right here, right now, over at Blackburn Overseas. Of course, the Prediction League. We're going to take a little look. We can't take a Prediction League. I'm on a very short timer here, so we'll get back to that next time around, because I'm on pretty much on the road. As soon as I've done this, I'm out the door. So here we go then. Recap the results. Of course, Sunderland, wow, 5-0 demolition job of Southampton there. I went with the 1-0 win myself. The Bromwich could only muster a draw in the Gary Rowett derby, 1-1 in the end. Swansea City and Bristol City duked out, duked out to a 3-goal thriller. 2-1 win it was for Bristol City on the road. Meanwhile, another thriller, 6-goal thriller at Rico, 3-3 in the end. I went with a draw myself on that one, but maybe another surprise. Of course, you look at the Sunderland one, that's a surprise, but QPR getting a monstrous 2-0 win at the Riverside. Carrick may be in trouble. Ipswich Town doing unthinkable things, of course, coming from 2-0 down, I think, to win 3-2, showing some fight, some resolve. Still in the mix at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Leeds could only muster a draw against Sheffield Wednesday. Good away point for them. Hull City, though, another shocker. 1-0 win over Leicester City. I went with a 2-1 win for the hosts, of course. We didn't imagine that at the King Power. I predicted 3 goals in the game against for Plymouth and Rovers, but guess what? It was 3 goals, but it all went to bloody Plymouth. Absolutely embarrassed us. Meanwhile, Norwich were also taken out. 2-1 win for Rotherham. Goodness gracious me, as some of the big boys, all the big boys seem to lose on this last one. And Stoke City, who were doing A-OK themselves, take the L with a 2-0 win in the bloody, what's his name? Alex Neil derby. And of course, right at the bottom there, bloody Warnock, doing Warnock things. 2-1 win over West Brom. Who would have thunk it? Not me. Like I said, I cannot show you the Prediction League stuff right now. It's just, it takes a little bit too much time. But anyway, North End running away with it, 13 points on the board out of 15. Fantastic start to the season for them. Ipswich Town, of course, up there as well. Leicester, Birmingham, Norwich, and then Hull. Then, of course, down the bottom, we've got Swansea who are in trouble, Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough right here, right now. It could all change very, very soon, but of course, we're going to have to wait a few days for the international break to return. This is, of course, the link for the old Super Brew. Get involved with it. It's 100% free. And of course, I'll bring you back up to date when the next time you see me in this regard. Alrighty then, let's take a look at the games that are going to go on this coming weekend then, shall we? It's going to be some zingers in there. Teams are going to bounce back, and of course, teams are going to kick on as well. So let's take a look. That's, of course, the Super Brew. We are all over the place here, right now. So let's get into it. The game of the day. We're going to have a watch along for this badger as well. I don't know if I'm going to be in the hot seat, or maybe Pete will be in the hot seat. We'll see. Is, of course, the day I'm actually on the road on this day, so it depends if I can get back in time. But regardless, we'll have a non-stop coverage of this. We'll probably even have a vlog as well, as Rovers take on Middlesbrough at Ewood Park. 41 times they played each other since 1995. We've got 16 wins for Rovers, 11 wins for Middlesbrough, 14 draws, of course. Rovers' biggest win over Borough, 2-0 win, scoring 38 goals in those 41 games, 0.93 goals game ratio. Up against Borough, of course, 4-0 win, their biggest, 35 goals scored in those 41 games, 0.85 goals game ratio. Borough on 42% form for them right now, winning twice of the last 6. Rovers on 58% form for them right now, losing twice of the last 6. And of course, coming into this in 13th up against Borough's 24th. Last time around at Ewood, it was a 2-1 win for Boroughs back in December 2022. The home side's only won once of the last 6 or 7 matches here, and that was when Rovers beat Borough back in 2022. Quick look at the odds on this Badgerino. We do have Rovers 9-5 for the victory, 11-5 is the draw, 6-4 is your way win. Quite tight on the books one. I'm also thinking it's quite tight. We're going to go with a 1-0 win. Rovers need to bounce back and bounce back fast. And of course, giving Middlesbrough a bit of a headache early into the month of September. Next up we have is Bristol City against West Bromwich Albion coming at you, Thrashton Gate. That's right, these two sides have played each other 22 times since 1983. 6 wins for Bristol City, 11 wins for the Baggies, and 5 draws, of course. Bristol City's biggest win, 3-0 win, scoring 25 goals in those 22 games, 1.14 goals game ratio. Up against the Baggies, a 3-0 win, their biggest, 40 goals scored in those 22 games, 1.82 goals game ratio. Of course, the Baggies on 42% form right now, just one defeat past 4, 11th in the table, 7 points on the board. Meanwhile, Bristol City, 58% form for them, just 1 win in 4 also, but they're up to 8th with with 8 points on the board right here, right now. Last time around over in Bristol City, it was a 3-0 win. That was back in January 2023. Of course, Bristol City, back-to-back games. Actually, scrap that. That was a 3-0 win in the FA Cup. That's the in the league. It was back in Boxing Day at Bristol at Thrashing. It was a 2-0 win for the Baggies. Goodness gracious me. Looking at the odds right here. Right now, we've got the hosts here, the Robins, 19-10 for the victory, 21-10 the draw, 6-4 is your away win. Tough one here. Going to go with the hosts here, doing it again like Preston. Sneaky beaky up the table they go. Cardiff City against Swansea. Wow. Of course, it is the Welsh derby. Of course, all eyes on this game. Late kickoff on the Saturday. Played each other 17 times in 2008. We've got 4 wins for Cardiff, 10 for Swansea, and 3 draws. Of course, Cardiff's biggest win, 1-0 win, scoring 13 goals in 17 games, 0.76 goals a game ratio. Up against the Swans, that's right, 4-0 win, their biggest, 28 goals scored in 17 games, 1.65 goals game ratio. However, Swansea are in 22nd spot with 2 points on the board right now, 3 defeats on the spin, 25% form for them right now. Cardiff, 50% form for them right now, 1-3 and lose 3. They're on 4 points with 19th spot at the table. Goodness gracious me, Wales is in trouble. Last time around, over at Cardiff was a 3-2 win for Swansea, who actually won 4 on the bounce against Cardiff. I think Cardiff are going to be playing Swans at just the right time. Of course, looking at the odds right here, right now, we have 9-5 is your Cardiff, 6-4 is your Swansea, 11-5 is the draw here. Going to go with Cardiff here, 1-0 win for them. And again, maybe a bit of righting some wrongs here for the blue half of Wales. That's right. Let's get into the next one then, shall we? It's Millwall, it's Leeds. It's a bit of a zinger chicken dinner, this one, over at the Den. All eyes on this one as well on Sunday, September the 17th. Played each other 28 times, 2004, 11 wins for Millwall, 13 wins for Leeds, 4 draws, of course. Millwall, biggest win for them, 2-0 win, scoring 36 goals in those 28 games, 1.29 goals game ratio. Up against Leeds, of course, their biggest win, 2-0 win, scoring 39 goals in those 28 games, 1.39 goals game ratio. Leeds are, of course, on 50% form right now, 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2. They're on 15th for the table with 6 points on the board. Meanwhile, Millwall, 42% form for them right now. They're, of course, winning actually back-to-back games now without a loss. We're looking at 12th in the table, 7 points on the board. Last time around at the Den, it was a 2-1 win for Millwall, who are actually at least 3 unbeaten against Leeds at their gaff. They're looking to make it 4, if not more, already. Looking at the odds here, 23-10 is your host, 23-10 the draw, 6-5 is your winner. Leeds are favoured here, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Millwall at home. Of course, it is the Championship. Expect the unexpected right here. Of course, Southampton against Leicester, another zinger chicken dinner on this one. And of course, on a Friday night, that's right, let's get into the deep end on this one. Played each other 46 times since 1994. We've got 16 wins for Southampton, 18 wins for Leicester, and we've got 12 draws, of course. The biggest win for Southampton, 4-0 win, scoring 65 goals in those 46 games, 1.41 goals game ratio. Of course, Leicester, 18 points, 18 victories for them, 9-0 win, the biggest of Southampton, 74 goals scored in 46 games, 1.61 goals game ratio. They're coming at you in third in the table, 12 points on the board, 83% form, just 1 defeat at the past 6. And against the Saints, we're in 7th. 10 points on the board, 58% form for them. 2 wins in the last 5 games, of course. Last time around at St Mary's, that was a 1-0 win for Southampton. Of course, that 9-0 still ringing in their ears. Of course, I'm sure they want to get a bit of vengeance. But all eyes on this one, 9-5 for the kickoff, 9-5 for the host here, 11-5 for the draw, 64 is your away win. It's going to be tight here. Going to be a 1-1 draw, yes. Point split right down the middle. And of course, Southampton still struggling to really kick on, but a big opponent there. Watford up against Birmingham, of course. It's the Troy Deeney derby. Can we say that one? How about that one? Of course, played each other 26 times in 1993. We've got 13 wins for Watford. We've got 8 wins for the Brummies. And we've got 5 draws, of course. Watford, biggest win for them, 4-0 win, scoring 46 goals in 26 games, 1.77 goals game ratio. And against the Brummies, of course, 3-0 win, their biggest, 33 goals scored in 26 games, 1.27 goals game ratio. They're on 75% form right now. The Brummies are in 4th in the table, 11 points on the board. Back-to-back games, though. Without a win. Oh my gosh. Watford, though, just 1 win in 6. 33% form for them. They're on 18th with 5 points on the board. They're in a bit of trouble again. Ishmael staring down the barrel at the minute. Last time around at Vicarage Road, 3-0 win it was for Watford, who've won 3 on the spin at the very least. And of course, kept 3 clean sheets at the very least against the Brummies heading into this one. The odds, though, for this, we got Watford coming at you. Even Stevens for the victory, 12-5 is a draw. 11-4 is your away win. Gonna go with Watford on this, I think. 3-0 win, keeping the clean sheet, and of course Ishmael buying him some time. Let's get into the next one. It's Huddersfield Town against Rotherham. Bit of a Yorkshire affair, this badger, at the John Smith McAlpine Stadium. Of course, played each other 19 times, 2005, 12 wins for Huddersfield, 2 for Rotherham, 5 draws, of course. Huddersfield coming to on 25% form for them right now, just 1 win in 6, though. Their biggest win over Rotherham, 5-2 wins, scoring 38 goals in 19 games, 2 goals game average. They're in 21st spot with 4 points on the board right now, up against Rotherham, of course, who have just beaten Huddersfield twice in those 19 games. 2-0 win the biggest. 20 goals scored in those 19 games. 1.05 goals game ratio. They're in 20th right now, 4 points as well, just 1 win in 5, 42% form for them over the last 6. Last time around at the John Smith Stadium was a 2-0 win for Huddersfield back in December 2022. Huddersfield unbeaten against Rotherham with the last 3. But picking a couple of wins and a draw to boot. Last time around, or the bookies' odds for this one, 11-10 on Huddersfield, 23-10 is the draw, 60-5 is your Rotherham here. We're going to go with a 1-0 win for Rotherham. Again, good. They're grinding out some results right here right now and just going about their stuff. Nice and easy down the foot of the table there. Meanwhile, Hull City, who are doing A-OK up against Coventry, coming at you at the what is it, the KCOM or whatever they call it, MKM Stadium these days. Played each other 14 times, done 5, 6 wins for Hull, 5 wins for Coventry, 3 draws, of course. Biggest win for Hull, 2-0 win, scoring 13 goals in 14 games, 0.93 goals game ratio. Up against Coventry, their biggest win, 2-0 win, scoring 12 goals in 14 games, 0.86 goals game ratio. They're on 42% form right now. Coventry just 1 win in 6. However, unbeaten in the last 4, drawing a lot of games. Meanwhile, Hull, 58% form for them, also unbeaten in the last 4. However, winning 3 and drawing just the 1. They're in 6th in the table with 10 points on the board. Up against Coventry, who are in 14th with 6 points on the board as well. Meanwhile, last round at the MKM, it was a 3-2 win for Hull back in August 2022. We're looking at the odds right here right now. Again, a Friday night kick, 6-4 is your Hull, 9-5 is your away win, 11-5 is your draw. I think Hull again. They might not think they're in the mixer, but they're doing A-OK. Good result against Leicester, and of course they'll continue that here with a win against Coventry City. Next up, we have Norwich against Stoke, of course. Alex Neil Derby, can I call it? Can I call it Alex? I think I can. Well, I can. 30 times they played each other since 1995, 10 wins apiece, and of course 10 draws as well. Wagner's boys, 4-1 win, the biggest for the Canaries, 33 goals scored in 30 games, 1.10 goals a game ratio. Up against Alex Neil, of course, and of course the Potters. Their biggest win, 5-0 win, 36 goals scored in 30 games, 1.20 goals game ratio. Of course, Stoke coming at you, 50% form for them right now, won 3 and lost 3. They're on 16th in the table, 6 points on the board. Up against the Canaries, who are in 5th, 10 points on the board, 75% form for them, but they were humbled last time around against Rotherham. Last time around over at Cattle Road, it was a 3-1 win for Norwich. Of course, back-to-back wins for them over Stoke at their own place. The odds right here, right now, we've got 11-10 on as your Norwich, 23-10 is the draw, and 60-5 is your away win here. So surely Norwich will bounce back. Of course, they lost Sargent, but of course they've been very, very active in the old transfer window. Let's, of course, kicking on forward with Preston. The tabletoppers up against Plymouth, of course, going a deep deal. That's right. Of course, Preston flying high, played each other 12 times, these two sides, 4 wins for the Nobbers, 2 for the Army, the Green Army, 6 draws, of course. Preston, biggest win for them, 3-0 win, scoring 14 goals in 12 games, 1.17 goals a game ratio. Plymouth, though, under Stephen Schumacher, 2-0 win, their biggest, scoring 8 goals in 12 games, 0.67 goals a game ratio. Of course, the Green Army, 42% form for them right now, just scores 2 wins the last 6 games. They're in 10th with 7 points on the board. Up against the Nobbers, of course, their biggest win, 3-0 win, scoring 14 goals, 1.17 goals a game ratio, 75% form for them right now. Top of the table, 4 wins on the bounce, and of course, riding high with 13 points right here, right now. Last time around at the Deepdale, it was a 2-0 win for Preston back in December 2009, guys. It's been a long, long time since these two guys locked horns, but the odds here, 21-20 is your Preston, 12-5 is the draw, 5-2 is your away win here. 2-1 win, and again, it's got the matey boy. It's the Ryan Lowe Derby. I just clicked on this. The Ryan Lowe Derby, of course, taking over his old club there. Who will come out on top? It's the first time that these two managers have locked horns, so we'll see about that. Meanwhile, QPR against Sunderland, another game of the day right here, right now. Two teams bouncing high. And again, probably international break came at the wrong time. Over at Loftus Road at the King Prince Foundation Stadium. These two sides played each other 20 times since 1997. We've got 4 wins for QPR, 10 wins for Sunderland, and 6 draws, of course. Biggest win for QPR, 2-0 win, scoring 24 goals in 20 games, 1.20 goals game ratio. Up against Sunderland, of course, 3-0 win for them, 33 goals scored in 20 games, 1.65 goals game ratio. 42% form for Sunderland right now. Unbeaten in the last 3, 9th in the table, 7 points on the board. Up against QPR, 17th in the table, 6 points on the board, 2 wins out of the last 6 games. But last round at Loftus Road, a 3-0 win for Sunderland back in February 2023. In fact, Sunderland unbeaten against QPR over the last 3, just 1 loss of the last 6. So they like playing them, it looks like. But of course, the odds right here are 2-1 is your QPR, 13-10 is your Sunderland, 12-5 is the draw. QPR riding high on fumes, and so was Sunderland. And I've gone it. I'll sit on the fence here. 0-0 draw on this one to take it to the bank. Next up, Sheffield Wednesday against Ipswich Town. This time last season, guess what? Both of these two clubs were in League One. This game taking place at Hillsborough, coming at you on the 16th of September. 34 times they played each other since 1983. We've got 11 wins for the Owls, 12 wins for the Tracker Boys, and 11 draws as well. Biggest win for Wednesday, 5-0 win. win, 48 goals scored in 34 games, 1.41 goals game ratio. Up against Ipswich, still flying high. Of course, 4-1 win their biggest, 39 goals scored, 1.15 goals game ratio. They're on 83% form right now, are the Tractor Boys, winning 5 of the last 6 games, up to second, 12 points on the board. Of course, Wednesday, just a 1 point on the board, and that was against Leeds, 25% form for them right now. Still waiting. We're still waiting for the first manager sacking. Of course, I am recording this early in the month of September, so if something happens between now and then, delete. Of course, anyway, Sheffield Wednesday 2-2 draw last time around at Hillsborough. Again, that was in League One back in September last year, around about this time last year. So the Locking Horns once again, pretty much a year to the day. Of course, we are looking at the odds. It's 12-5 your Wednesday, 11-10 is your Ipswich, 12-5 is the draw. Going to go with a 2-0 win for the Tractor Boys again. They're responding well from that Leeds defeat with a tight one against Cardiff. And right here, right now, a difficult away day against a familiar foe. 2-0 win for them on this one. And that, my friends, wraps that sucker up, of course. And as you can see there, a recap of the results. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. The Nobbers will still be top. Of course, Ipswich will be then second. And then Hull, Norwich, Leicester and Birmingham with Rovers in 10th. Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough still going down. That's, of course, my hopes and dreams, of course. That's League One. That's for another day. But, of course, until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. Check out the links down below. Don't forget the Prediction League, the Super Brew. And, of course, we'll be back for the next one very, very soon. But until then, we're done.